about to lose a fingernail. Look at this. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever done. They were black nails and then I painted them whites. They're stuck on with said double-sided tape and then I painted them pink. That works. Angles. Good evening. I'm sure you're wondering, Lex, how are you feeling today? You're probably not, you probably don't care, but I'm going to tell you anyway. A long, long time ago, when I first started YouTube, so there was not much negativity. That was good. That was good. I am feeling very stressed out. In case you can't tell, I'm a demon. With all the negativity, I scroll through my feed just like anybody else on the internet, and it's just articles after posts after just so much going on online specifically right now that it's really been bringing me down. Like, it's really been making me very uninspired feeling. I was trying to do some characters that I wanted to do, I just couldn't do them. I wanted to go paint the other day, I couldn't. I just wasn't feeling like my normal self. Wow, well this is way different than the intro. Welcome to Dr. Phil. My point being, when I first started doing makeup, that was the actual reason I started doing makeup, was because of all those feelings that just made me feel not so much like myself, and I literally made myself into not myself. And I would take all those crazy or angry or sad emotions or anything that's just generally bad and turn it into characters. That is what all of this is about to me. And the story I'm trying to tell is I can't tell you guys how good it feels to finally do an original character and just pick up the brushes and start painting. I didn't have a direction when I started this makeup. I didn't have any thoughts in my mind. I just wanted to paint. And while painting, I just kind of channeled Valentine's Day and a mix of the album cover of Marilyn Manson's Mechanical Animals album, as well as any thoughts that have been clouding my brain, and I ended up as a demon. But I like it though. Feel free to use it for Valentine's Day. You'll definitely be getting roses. Out of fear. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy my original characters, which I enjoy my original characters very much. They're very meaningful to me. All the products that you say be listed somewhere around the video. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you are still subscribed and click the little bell next to my name so you get notifications when a new video is posted. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, including why I'm giving you so many instructions, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. Now, you very well may need to take some breaks while doing this look. I was just painting my heart out. This took me hours to paint. Just painting without direction really just releases so much in me that I just love it. So I will do my best rewatching this to let you know what I did along the way. I'm starting out by outlining my section of what I wanted to be open. Because I was thinking more so about Valentine's Day and Cupid, I kind of wanted it to come to a demonic looking type of arrow. What really makes an arrow look demonic? I don't know, you tell me. And I pulled up two references for this paint in particular, one being your muscular system and the other one being your skeletal system. And my first thought process was that I wanted it to be a lot of muscles with some skull showing underneath. So generally, I'm first sketching in all the muscles according to the reference that I'm using and adding a little piece of skull on the other side. In my reference, it also showed veins, and I wanted to paint those in first, which ended up getting a little bit lost later on, but this is the reason I did it, because I didn't want them to get lost, and I filled those all in using red body paint. To give it some shading to show it's going underneath certain areas, I added a little bit of black paint into the red and just shaded around the edges. I knew that I wanted this entire look to be different shades of pink, so I just went back and referenced our regular anatomy where your skull is white and then obviously muscles are more of like a pink red, so I decided to go with a very light pink for the skull instead of white. And I filled in any sections that were intended to be bone. Going in with the darker pink, I then shaded around the edges of each piece as well as added some minor details to the bone sections. Once again, going back to the color of ourselves, I knew that I wanted the muscles to be darker than what is supposed to be bone. So I filled in all the muscles on my face using a magenta body paint. I then mixed a little bit of black into that magenta body paint to give me that darker shade to be able to shade all the muscles and add some striations. And along some of the edges, I just went in with straight up black and blended that out. To give the striations more pop, I then went in with the same pink that I used for the bone and highlighted everything. As well as used some white liquid eyeliner for some shine, that way the body paint would mix into the body paint and give me a light pink, which I already had. Trying so desperately not to lose my veins, I also highlighted them as well Poor veins. Using red body paints, I filled in any other gaps that were left in between my muscles and shaded with some black around those areas. And continue to add 2 muscles on the other side where the bone is. To add more detail to the skull, I actually went ahead and used that same magenta that I used for the muscles, just less of it and blend it out. And for some pop in certain areas, I'm just adding some highlights as I go along. Using white, I then filled in my teeth, which I originally was going to shade but just wanted to leave them nice and bright considering there was so much else going on in the look. I then filled in the only 2 gaps I had left on my face, which was the hole for my nose and that hole in my cheek. And I used red and black body paint like in between the muscles on the other side. Going down into my neck, I added the muscles onto my neck the same way that I did on my face by first laying down the magenta, then mixing in a little bit of black, doing some shading, adding some striations, and going back in with a lighter pink to make those pop. The fact that I even explained all that correctly in 1 sentence was a miracle. To separate each one as well as fill in the holes, I added red and black. Adding the white liquid liner was definitely something I needed to do on my neck, not only just to match my face, but just to make sure that things were separated enough to be able to tell what they actually were, considering there is so much going on. To add some pop to the bones of my neck, I went ahead and added some magenta body paint as well as some white. To fill in all remaining holes, I went in with red body paint and shaded the outside using black, and I also filled in that middle section with a little more pink because I wasn't liking the way that was looking at the time. And used a little more magenta to shade those areas as well. Using white body paints, I painted the rest of myself white. If you are a ninja with the brush, not saying that I am, but I just so happen to be on this night. You can use a bigger brush to go around your design, but I would heavily suggest using a smaller brush when going near it so you don't smudge it into your white and have a meltdown. I then went ahead and primed my eyes using Urban Decay Primer Potion, and patted on some white shadow surrounding my entire eye, as well as added hot pink shadow on my lid and blending that all up and out. I also wanted to try to rock a little bit more of a straighter brow for this character and filled it in using the same hot pink that I used on my eyes. A little bit of Alexys. I finished up by doing a dramatic cat eye using the Night Owl eyeliner, put some mascara on, and threw some hot pink in my hair as well as popped in my contacts.